Diagrams. It's Miss Moreau, and I'm going to walk you through an activity that we are doing in class today, but I want you to experience this as well, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is on this, it's called patty paper. It's this really kind of clear looking paper. You can see through it a little bit, not quite tracing paper, but pretty thin. We're going to write a couple of numbers that are rational numbers that are not whole numbers or integers. So let me take my little marker here. A rational number that's not a whole number or an integer. So that would include fractions, decimals, mixed numbers, anything that we could get to the point that we write it as A over B, like we did in our notes, right, as a fraction. So like 3/7 is a good one. How about 1.4? That's another one. Negative 0.9. And then it could be like -1.5. Okay, that is on. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to adjust this a little bit, okay? So that is all on this little square here, okay? We're going to move it out of the way now. I want you now, let's think of a number that is an integer but not a whole number, okay? It is an integer but not a whole number. I would say, I'm going to write it on the edge here. -2 is an integer but not a whole number. -4. Now, 7 is an integer, but it's also a whole number. So right now, I just want the ones that are integers but not whole numbers, okay? We could say -6 and -1, okay? Now, we're going to move this out of the way. This circle is for whole numbers. What is a whole number? Remember, that's those positive counting numbers. I call them kindergarten numbers. It is the numbers that we learn to count with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of these numbers here. Okay? So let's think of some observations here. I want you to make an observation for a second. What do you notice about the whole numbers? Okay, you're going to go through this in your flip grid. I want you to also answer these when you see them. But what do you notice about the whole numbers? Well, for me, I notice that they're all positive. Okay, they are positive counting numbers. Now, I'm going to take this little card right here with integers, and I'm going to stack it right on top of here. You should be able to see through it somewhat. So I'm sorry about the glare. But if I push that down right there, okay, what do we notice here in my integer stack? It's a glare, I'm sorry, but we'll work with it, okay? So, what do you notice? My integers, they're not just negative numbers. It's not working. They're not just the negative numbers, but I see -1, -6, -4, and -2, but I also see a +3 and a +5. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going, so all of these are integers, even the positive numbers, okay? Now, the difference is that these are whole numbers also, while these are integers, okay? Some numbers, like 3 and 5, are integers and whole numbers, okay? So the next step, we're going to take this little piece of paper here, and we're going to put it right over the top. Okay, I don't know how well you can see through there, but what it's supposed to show you is that you can see your whole numbers there. You can see your whole numbers right here that are 3 and 5. You can see all of those negative integers, and you can see all of these. So right here, when you're looking at rational numbers, it includes all of these. When you're looking at integers, it includes all of these that are in here. And then the whole numbers are all of these. So if you think about it, 3 is a whole number, and it's an integer, and it's a rational number. But -2 is not a whole number, is it? It's not inside that whole number circle. So -2 is just an integer and a rational number. The whole numbers are positive only. Integers can be positive or negative, and the rational numbers cover all of those, because all I would have to do to this -6 right here is put it over 1. Right? And this 5 right there, put it over 1. This 3, okay? All of those are rational numbers too, okay? So this was just a little way to visualize how the numbers overlap and how some of them are in more than one category. Now you're going to finish the rest of your Pear Deck up and answer the rest of the questions.